Hello and welcome to today's Confessions of a Global Changemaker show. You have a face who I'm sure is familiar sitting in the hot seat today, Miss Judith Quin. Judith is an enormous part of Brand Builders Club, has been one of the founding members for, it's got to be about 3 years now, has won awards year after year, all the brand builders voting for her. Just amazing, juicy awesomeness sat in the hot seat today. Judith, welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
We're going live on LinkedIn as well. Okay, so yeah, we're going live via 5 channels today. Hello and welcome to those of you that are joining us today. Judith, you've been on the show a few times. I've interviewed you over the years talking about your progress, and you've just gone through one of the biggest learning curves. Even though you've been through a process like the one that you've been through before, I wanted to dig in to you making your second online course and the lessons that you learned whilst making it. And we'll talk a little bit about it. I've got some information about the online course here. But if you are watching or listening to the show and you are thinking about launching online courses, I thought, what better way than to get the treasure from the chest and the heart and the mind of this amazing lady who's just been through it. And let's begin and find out the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
So, Judith, you'd made a course before. So tell us about the first course that you made and what was so different about that one to this one.
Okay, so the first course I made directly as a result, reaction to the whole C-19 global pandemic lockdown world of everyone suddenly having to be on camera. So I am a vocal confidence and communication specialist, so helping people get past, through, beyond, over, whatever word you wish to use, the challenges of speaking up for yourself in any situation. But obviously, with global lockdown, suddenly everyone had to be appearing on a screen near you somehow, somewhere. And you and I had spoken about me doing a sprint in the Brand Builders Club, which those who don't know, the Brand Builders Club is like a micro course in 5 days. And so it was a perfect time to do that. And I was speaking at other people's events, which had been booked as real life events and then went online. And I realized, and that course was specifically about how to show up on camera with confidence. And so I'd done it, I delivered it, it was getting amazing results, and it was
Brand builders loved it.
Yeah, it was huge. Everywhere I went, I think I took it into 3 different spaces. So there was the brand builders and then a couple of different speaking places where I was asked. And it had amazing results really quickly for people and dramatic results. So there are a couple of people in brand builders who completely shifted their relationship to the camera, what video, whatever we call this these days. And so I thought, okay, I've been avoiding doing an online course for ages because of the tech.
Aha.
Mostly because
the technology that held you back from doing it before.
Yeah. But my coach and her business partner had literally just spent 2 weeks creating a how to create an online course. So I bought that from her. Watched that and went, and because she's my coach, I also, as she knows how I operate, I just said, right, tell me where I want to host this. I don't want to be faffing about with research. I don't do research. I'm not a detail person. You know me, Sammy. You know that.
Want to get shit done.
Big picture, get shit done. Don't want to faff about. So she said, you want to host it on Thinkific. You want to do it like this. You, Sammy, introduced me to Movavi, which is an editing suite, which I'd had the trial version of about 2 years ago, kind of got my head around it, and then was just like, no, it's too complicated, don't like it. So we went back to that and went, actually, it's not as complicated as I thought it was. Need something better. So as soon as I had that, and as soon as I had the space to host it where I didn't have to bother about anything. It was literally drag and drop upload.
Yeah, so good.
That, and with C-19 happening and needing to get something out there, I went, okay, I'll create it. I did it. I created it in 2 weeks because I already had all the content. because I delivered it lots, and I had testimonials, and I had all of that. So created it, put it out there, and I just put it out there. I did not launch it. And there's a difference, which I now know. There's a big difference between putting something out there and launching it. So that was that one. And that was in end of May. Like it was end of May, beginning of June. And I went, oh, if I've done this, you know what? In the next few weeks, I'm going to do my Introduction to Voice Vibration Sound Healing course. And then I procrastinated.
It's like you got the bug and then went, oh, okay.
And so to those of you watching this, why do you procrastinate about something? Well, the first course was really easy. It was short, it was small, and I'd done all the work before.
Yeah.
I'd had all the worksheets prepared for the brand builders sprint. I delivered it 3 times. It had amazing results each time. So I had the confidence in it. And
I think it helps as well when you have that social proof as well, when you've got people that are already behind it, and you can say, I know this works. I know it with certainty. I know for sure that this works. It
works as an online course. My only uncertainty, 2 of my uncertainties. So for those of you watching, and this actually goes for anything, because I had similar things about where's my book? There's my book. I think similar things about my book was, but do people want more? Like, is it time? Is it ego? All of that stuff gets in the way. So with this, it was just a matter of people. I knew people needed it for the how to speak on camera with confidence one, because everyone's now having to appear on a screen.
Well, the whole world had to evaporate the world that they had and the way that they were delivering their businesses before, right? Yeah. I was talking to somebody a little while ago who's over in Fort Worth in Texas, and she was saying her entire business was speaking, but even she had to master the camera because you had to find another way of continuing your career.
And this is where what I do is different to other public speaking coaches, because our public speaking coaches stand here, do this, have your... Whereas what I do is work on what are the subconscious fears? What are you afraid of? What judgments are you afraid of? What's the energy that you're in? What are you connected to when you're speaking? And that doesn't matter whether you're in person or on screen. So that was a real benefit and a bonus for me. So that was that one. But then with the voice vibration sound healing one, which I have been thinking of for about 18 months, I even recorded videos for it about 18 months ago, when my hair was this long and before it was this long, you know. And I had social proof that I know the voice vibration sound healing works. But, so for those of you who are thinking, particularly for putting an online course out there, I don't really do online courses. So I don't see the value in them.
Right.
So that was a big barrier, kind of similar to my book, right? My book could probably be called a self-development, self-help book, I don't know, whatever one calls it. I've read about 6 of them in my life. Now, most coaches will have read like 200. So it's when you are doing something that you're not a big consumer of. I've done about 2 online courses. Like I say, I've read probably 10, all the classic books. It's interesting, the different barriers that come up. So if you, like me, have those barriers, it doesn't mean that your stuff won't work on it. It's just that you might need a course that shows you how to do it and why people get benefit from it. So that was one of my barriers. The other was the thing about really stepping up out in the world with the other side of my business, with the voice vibration, sound and chakra healing. And that what I really do is liberate your voice, but on so many deeper levels. It's not just, I have public speaking tools, tricks, tips, techniques to use, but the deep stuff is the energy work, is your spiritual self, is your connection to who you really are that's hiding behind who you think you have to be. And me putting that out there meant me having to connect to the part of me I like to avoid, which is the vulnerable side, the side that goes, are people going to go, this is just weird hippie woo shit?
Right. Just, I want to stop here. Okay. I want to take Judith back. Must be
3 years
ago.
2017.
When Judith won my very first challenge that I ever run. I ran a challenge. I didn't know how to run challenges. I just went in for a penny, in for a pound. Let's just do it. I ran a 30-day challenge. Judith started the challenge on day 8, I think it was.
8 or 9, yeah.
Just totally crushed it, right? She was like, oh, I don't know whether I should even bother doing this. You know, I'm starting on day 8. Everyone's so ahead of me. Oh, sod it, I'll just do it. And she goes on to win this challenge, right? So she wins a weekend with me at my house in France, just working solidly on her business. And then also a place at my Master Your Message Mastermind, which was also in France, neither of which I do anymore, right? So Judith comes over to my house in France and she's saying, I don't know whether I can let everybody know about my woo-woo side. Saying exactly the same thing as you were just saying then. Isn't that interesting that I think when it comes to being introspective about our own brands, we still have this little voice in our head that goes, but really?
And it was that session, and it was that time with you where I realized, because you said to me, Sammy, you said, oh my God, Judith, if I'd known the whole of what you do,
right,
you would have been the first person I went to when your business partnership broke up and you had to go and do all those speaking gigs that you were terrified about.
Yeah.
Even though you
wasn't naturally a speaker. I'd been training
a ton of training.
But I couldn't see how I could do it in a way with integrity. And I think that was the thing that was stopping me, which Judith then stepped in with. And I'd spent easily 5 figures on my speaker training that I wasn't using because there was still a part of me that didn't want to do it. And when I find out all of these amazing gifts that Judith's got, I was like, what the hell? If I'd have known that you had all this inside you, you'd have been on my speed dial, my phone a friend.
Yeah. And some of those gifts may appear a bit woo to some people, but actually, and this is what you said, but it's physical and it's practical. Yeah. And so I was like, how do I convey this because it's an introductory course, how do I convey that, yes, it is spiritual and energetic, but it's also physical and practical. So all that stuff was still there too. So the biggest difference between this course and the mini one that I released quickly in 2 weeks is that I care in some ways more about this element of the work.
Interesting.
So the showing up on camera, having the confidence, that is 100% in my zone. But the voice vibration, sound healing, chakra energy, personal healing side, so that people can recognize their wounds, sound through them, release them, step into the whole of who they are, so that their voice, when you're expressing yourself, becomes clear, becomes confident, because you're showing up and shining in every area of your life with that energy. That's the stuff that's the stuff that rocks my world. This is the work I want to be doing. So because I cared more, I was more concerned about how it looked, how it was put together, what was in it, and all of that. So if that for you is the thing that's stopping you from releasing, whether it's your book, whether it's your oracle cards, whether it is your online course, if you care, that's good. But I want to share some of what I did with you, which is actually a post that I shared in the Brand Builders, I think the day after, no, probably the Sunday, because the day after the launch, I was wiped out.
I saw your lessons.
So yeah, the lessons that I learned from doing this, because if you are stopping yourself from putting something out there because you really care, because the more we care, the more we are concerned about what other people think. Yeah. The more we want to have control over it. So that's one of my big challenges is I love to know that if something's going wrong, I can change it and shift it, particularly with work that's anything to do with emotional healing, because this is a self-study course. I've done it You buy it, you do it on your own at home, you take yourself through the exercises, which are practical, and the written ones. But one of my biggest challenges was, but I'm not there to see how people are responding.
Right.
I can't, it's like when you're speaking in a Zoom room and everyone has their videos off. I hate that.
I do.
I don't want to be seen because they're afraid of being seen. It's like, no, I need to see you because I need to be able to see your reactions to know whether this is dropping in the right place or if I need to adapt and change. And like my book, my concern was, but what if people don't get that I'm kind of flippant? What if people don't get my sarcasm? What if they think I'm being serious about this and I'm being self-pitying? But you can't hold on to that control all the time. Otherwise, you keep yourself small. And if you want to grow as a business, if you want to put yourself out there, there are elements that you need to let go of control of. And I put lots of support stuff in there. And mostly it's, please come and join the Facebook group so that if you have a question or a challenge, you can ask it and I can answer it. But that's why, again, it's an introduction. I said, I make sure people are doing it at a light level. Don't use a big personal trauma that's going on for you right now. Use a frustration. So if you're challenged.
Yeah, because I've seen you deliver. I mean, I've seen you deliver this work all over the world. I invited Judith to come on the speaking tour, all across America and the Netherlands and the UK with the Brand Builders Club when we went on tour. And I mean, I watched the transformations in the room at each of the rooms. And of course, you're in the room and you get to see the transformations. And we just literally developed a new course as well. And I had those same reservations. It's like, okay, well, when I'm in the Brand Builders Club, I'm there. I'm able to support and help with that. But when you're creating something that you've got to be able to be self-sufficient with, you actually have to go way beyond, don't you? Anything that you ever would deliver in a session, you have to put other things in it to make sure that somebody could do it at home. And that actually takes a lot more work than if anybody ever worked with you. It's a lot harder, isn't it?
And especially if it's an introduction to who you are and what you do. So if that is a challenge for anyone watching this, and you're like, oh, just, work it through. Know that you're going to have to, if you want to reach people. I have a vision that is sound around the world.
I love it.
Helping people, your words make waves is what I've always said. Your words make waves. So let the ripples travel around the world. And I need my ripples to travel around the world. And that's not going to happen by just working with the few people who do know what I do and who do have access to me and have heard me speak. I needed something, and you need something to get yourself out there so that there's a wider audience who go, oh, and that you're sending your ripples further across, making different impacts in different lives. So that was, and having that connection to my higher purpose is always what I go to stop me from hiding and to put it out there. So lessons for you if you want to create anything really, and then launch. Lesson the first, get over yourself. Lesson the second,
get over yourself again.
So always remember your higher purpose. Sammy calls it your mission, so your vision and your mission. I call it your higher purpose. Remember what that is. It's not about you. It's about the people whose lives it will impact. And it's about you being able to impact more people's lives. So always keep coming back to that whenever you're feeling stuck with it or avoiding it or frustrated with it. When you have created whatever you've created, get feedback. Vital. I did it for my book, and that was terrifying. It's like, oh my God, what are
it's like birthing a baby, isn't it? And everyone's saying, oh, it's ugly.
Yeah, which most babies are. Sorry. Just hashtag speak the truth. Apart from your baby, obviously, whoever you are watching this, it's beautiful. So make sure that you get feedback, and it's terrifying, it's horrible, it makes you feel vulnerable, but it's so important. And go ask, put yourself out there, be specific when you ask for feedback. So actually before that, in creating the course, and this is something I learned from Sammy, I put a call out there to ask people to respond to a survey that said, if you are interested in or intrigued by holistic healing or the concept of voice vibration sound healing and might like an online course about it, would you please answer these questions, because I'm creating a course on it to help me know what needs to go in it. So that was my first
essential.
So then I created what people wanted. Then I asked for the feedback. And again, I've created a course that's about this. If that's something you might be interested in, would you be a beta tester? So for a reader, I just got readers. For the course, I got them to test it. Don't get hung up on tech. For my beta testers, I created the documents, which I sent to them in an email, and I uploaded the videos to an unlisted YouTube playlist.
Yeah.
Right. So don't worry about your tech for that. They don't need the full whistles and bells. Give them a deadline for your feedback and give them specific questions to answer, including what would you expect to pay for this?
A biggie.
Yeah.
That is a biggie. Jennifer Louise, she did exactly this process a little while ago for a membership that she was launching, and she was expecting people to say around £47, and actually the biggest feedback she got was £97. So she almost doubled her profit, and she almost cut what she could have had in half.
Yeah.
By making an assumption. So this is a really big point.
Know who your audience are who are responding, and ask them that in the pre-survey questions. In your pre-survey questions, ask, would you be interested in being a beta tester? You've already got some people. Be prepared for 50% cull rate of everything. So I had 22 people answer the survey on what to create, 12 of whom said they wanted to be beta testers, 6 of whom actually answered the I'm ready to beta test email, 3 of whom actually gave feedback. Now, I actually had 16 beta testers in the end, of which 9 gave feedback by the deadline, even though I'd sent them an agreement to sign to say they would have by that deadline. There were still only 9. So work on the premise of 50%.
Unfortunately, when people don't pay, they don't pay attention.
Exactly. But that 9 was enough. It gave me a really good consensus of content, of what I needed to change. Be open to hearing the feedback. I would highly recommend having one person at least who's not an ideal client give you feedback.
You mentioned that in your feedback, didn't you? In your lessons learned.
That was amazing for me. So there's a woman whose husband actually lectures on creating online courses. So she got very technical with some of the feedback, and I was like, yeah, I don't have time to re-record the videos. That's not going to happen, but useful for next time. And she was not an ideal client. But even she said, you know, I feel this would help me with my emotional journey and my emotional development, and give me more emotional freedom. And so there was still positive, and there was lots of stuff where she goes, oh, this is really great. This is really great. I'd change that. What on earth are you doing that for? So don't be afraid of that feedback, but take action on it. Then do the edit. Set yourself a deadline, because otherwise you'll never do it. So there are 7 chakras, and there are 7 main sounds for those energy centers. And so I have a 7-week online course to work through them. I have a 7-day retreat. The 7 comes up a lot. So I'd already decided that the launch stupid crazy price was going to be £7. And my coach and I was going through the diary, and I went, oh, look, a Friday would be a good day. And there's a Friday the 7th in 2 weeks' time. Okay, that's my launch day. So that's when I suddenly had my date that I had to work to, and having a date is really useful.
It is, yeah.
The actual launch is what I really want to share with you. It's where some of my biggest lessons came.
Got 2 minutes.
I know. It's up to you to make the choice on pricing. Would I have sold as many as I sold at £17? Possibly. But I'd made the choice. I wanted it to be an easy yes. So it was £7 from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the 7th. And then it went up to £17. Yeah. And then it went up to £17, which it's going to be until the 17th of August at 1700 hours.
Let's just while Judith's talking through this, actually, I've got the picture that you sent me.
Lovely.
Yeah.
So this is it. And when you're doing your launch day, ask again. I take everyone who did the survey, send them an email a week before saying, will you help me by putting this out there? Everyone who asked to be a beta tester and wasn't, make it a part of your beta tester agreement. Ask all your friends, send them a message, make it easy for them by giving them blurb to share. And if you're on Facebook, with my Facebook page, I said, please share this from my Facebook page. And that one post got, it's up to 73 shares.
Amazing.
Which the reach is over 6,000 people. Yeah. And that's the thing. It's not necessarily, I mean, I got an amazing number of actual purchases that day as well, but there's now 6,000 people or more knowing that it's out there who didn't before. So that's what you want.
That's the key thing, isn't it? It's making sure that you put it on your Facebook page and get people to share it from that, because people can share that publicly then.
Yeah. And your business Facebook page, because that's where you want people. You don't want a whole load of random Facebook friend requests, right? So send it so make sure you share onto your personal page from your business page and say, click the picture below and it will take you to my business page and you can share it from there. And don't let your fears of what other people might think hold you back. Remember, connect to that higher purpose, your vision, your mission, so that you know that the people who need to know you're there are there and they're getting the work. And make it about that. If I'd made it about the money, I'd have given up at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
If it was about making money, and I did. I made £1,200 last Friday, right, which is amazing. Not bad for 6 weeks, damn hard work.
Yeah, I was an overnight success after 70 years.
But the money wasn't the driver. It was this, oh my God, this is reaching people. This is reaching people. This is connected.
And they'll recommend it and they'll keep recommending it and they'll recommend it to other people.
So I invite you, don't focus on the money. Remember your higher purpose. It's like, oh my God, this is, when it reached 100, when 100 people had bought my course, I literally burst into tears. I was like, oh, that's 100 lives, 100 lives. Oh my God.
Yeah.
And that's it. Think of it as lives. And when you think of it as lives, that creates the cash. But
it's an amazing feeling.
So yeah.
Judith, I'm so sorry that we've come to the end of it, because I could talk to you all day about this topic. You know, I mean, I've created over 1,000 mini courses. I love the mini course creation process. It just, for those of you that haven't done this, if you haven't done it, reach out to me. It is actually easier than you think. Don't try and do this alone. Judith's course is available. Did you say £17 until the 17th?
17th.
And then it goes up to what from there?
And it goes up to £27, which is going to be its full price at the moment.
Okay.
Until I have a mini version of it, because this one's about 2.5 hours. So when I have a mini version of it, that's going to be 27, and this course is going to be 77.
Right, got it. And that's absolutely the way to do it. So, Judith, thank you so much for coming and sharing your online course creation journey with us. And I think for those of you that are experiencing any kind of mini me going on, which is that little mini me that says, who are you to do that? Or any kind of imposter syndrome, or you've got some kind of trauma or some event that's happened to you in the past that's actually stopping you from moving forward. I just encourage you, go to the website that is on the screen right now, yourwholevoice.com. You'll find all sorts of amazing treasure on Judith's website. She's got cards, she's got books, she's got all kinds of amazing juicy awesomeness that she's created to support you at whatever stage of your journey you are on. And I really would appreciate it if you could go and find Judith Quin's Facebook page, her business Facebook page, and share it. Let's share the love. It doesn't matter that the deal for £7 has finished. It's now on £17. That hasn't finished yet. So let's get it out there. Let's share it and support a fellow brand builder to get her message out there, changing lives. Judith, thank you so much.
Thank you. Just to say, that page is facebook.com/yourwholevoice.
Okay, so let's
everything is your whole voice.
Get that up there. So that is, hang on, I'll change this one. So what is that?
facebook.com/yourwholevoice. And there's a
very, very simple.
Yeah, keep it simple.
Awesomeness. Judith, thank you so much for bringing your heart to the show. Guys and girls, go and share it, and share it again. Connect with Judith, and I just love following your journey, and we will have you back in the hot seat on the show very soon again, I'm sure. For those of you that are joining us for today's Thinkubator, I'm going to shoot across to Zoom now, and I will see you on the other side. Take care, and I'll see you back here on Thursday, same time, same place, for the next hot seat on the Confessions of a Global Changemaker show. Judith, mwah, sending you big love. For those of you that have joined the show today, I love you. I celebrate you. Go out there, be that brand you want to see in the world. And I'll see you 2 days' time. Mwah. See you later.
Bye.
Bye.